Hello, friends. Welcome to another Stamp With Me Tuesday. Tonight, we are doing a terrific technique. I have this really easy, I'm calling it the embossed patterns technique. I don't know if it has another name. I never know these things. But I have a step-by-step tutorial that we're going to go through, show you how easy it is to do this, and really show you how easy it is to do heat embossing too. If you've never done heat embossing, you're definitely going to want to check this out because I have tips for doing that as we go as well. If you are here and watching me live, go ahead, leave me a comment. Let me know whether or not you are stamping along with me tonight. If you're watching the replay, special welcome to you as well. I love that you all come later to watch the replay. So definitely let me know if you're stamping along with the replay or if you're just watching the replay and are going to go stamp later. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad that you have joined me. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping, and I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist to create beautiful handmade cards and gifts using stamps, ink, and paper. And that is exactly what we're going to do tonight. I hope that you will hit subscribe so that you always know when I go live. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, Nancy, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to start by making my workspace look just a little bit bigger. So let's see if we can do that. There we go. Perfect. All right, here are my supplies that I already have out for tonight. Now, we're going to use a piece of pattern paper. I went ahead and grabbed one of the pieces of the Nests of Winter designer series paper, which is this fun one that has all these birds on it. But I'm going to use the back. That is just like this, I think it's pool party with some snow on it. We're going to add a little bit more fun to it. So we have that. I also grabbed the Snowy Wonder stamp set. This is the stamp set I'm going to use tonight. Besides this, what works really, really well, and I'm going to show you this on my sample cards at the end, is using a big background stamp like that. This is going to make it super, super easy with a giant background stamp. But we're going to try it with a smaller stamp. I'm going to use the snowflake here. So we're going to see how it works. I don't know. I also have a Versamark ink pad. You could use another embossing ink pad, but I'm using my Versamark pad. I have my Wow embossing powder in clear. So I'm using clear tonight. Now you could emboss with other colors as well, but I love the way the look of the clear. You still have the full pattern, but you just have like this extra pattern on top of the pattern, which I think is really cool. I have my embossing buddy out tonight as well. And my embossing tray. This is part of the embossing additions kit. And then of course I have my heat tool. So I am all ready to go. Hello, Carol Sue and Fonda and Barb in snowy Saskatchewan. Oh my goodness. All right, I am using my glass mat tonight just because it makes a really nice surface for doing the heat embossing. I don't have to worry about messing up my table or anything. So I'm just going to take my embossing buddy and I am going to rub this all over my piece of pattern paper to start with. Now, what this embossing buddy does is really, it's just putting a little tiny bit of powder on the pattern paper so that when your fingers touch, or if there were finger marks before, whatever that is, any of those oils don't pick up stray bits of embossing powder. All right, it's just going to kind of help keep your embossing a little bit neater. So I'm going to grab, I have my Versamark ink pad. I'm going to start with the big snowflake here. Now, one of the problems when you're embossing on the pattern paper is because there's already a pattern, it can be very hard to see where you have embossed. When you are using this with a colored cardstock, let me see if I have a piece of colored cardstock right here. Of course I don't. Like I cleaned up, so I don't have any colored cardstock sitting right here. Oh, I know what I have here. I have this. Let me just show you. When you are stamping on a piece of colored cardstock, and you stamp with like your Versamark ink, you're going to be able to see where that is. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty faint, but it does, you can definitely see that image. So it makes it a little bit easier to do a whole bunch of different embossing on there. However, I'm using a piece of pattern paper, and because it's patterned, it just means it's a little bit harder to see where you stamped. It just doesn't do the same thing. So let's see how we do tonight. But luckily with these snowflakes, if they overlap or whatever, it's not going to matter. So we're just going to start at one side, and I'm going to add snowflakes all over this. So just repeatedly stamping just to get a whole bunch of snowflakes on here. My ink is trying to run away from me because I'm trying to go kind of fast. Let's see, now I don't know where I left off. I can kind of see, I know you guys can't see anything at all. I can kind of see a little bit of a shininess. So I can kind of see where I have stamped if I lean down just correctly, which is why I'm leaning way, way over so that I can see the stamped, that shiny embossing ink, because it's a clear ink, right? All right, we're almost done. And I just have this on a piece of scrap paper so that if I go off the edge, I don't get it on my glass mat. Although if I do get it on my glass mat, it will just wipe right off with a chamois or a piece of cloth or something. All right, I'm going to take a little bit smaller snowflake. I'm going to add a few small snowflakes in. We'll see how I do. All right. We're going to call this good, and we are going to dump on our embossing powder. So that is covered with little tiny snowflakes. You cannot see them. I know you can't see them. It's kind of boring, huh? And I'm going to put clear embossing powder on this, which you're not going to be able to really see that either. This technique is one of those that you have to do it along with me, because that's how you're really going to see it best, because it's going to show up so much better in person. All right, I'm just going to take my clear embossing powder. It looks white, but it's clear. And we will just dump it on there. And then I'm just going to kind of tap it over to the edge. And you can see where I have those snowflakes. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side just to kind of hopefully get it nice and coated. And then I'm just going to take this and tap it off right into the tray. And I can even take it and just tap the back a little bit. That's just going to get off some of the extra embossing powder. Now, can you see it all? No, not really. It's really hard to see, but it's on there. I promise it is. So hopefully when we heat it, we'll be able to see it. All right, so now with this embossing tray, what you can do is you can take the little screw off the end, and we'll just go ahead and we will tap this all back into our little embossing, the little embossing powder jar. Some people like to take this and put this in like a piece of Tupperware that you could put your paper right into it. I like to use I like to just keep it in the little embossing jars just because it's less storage, right? Like, I don't know, I have like 6 different colors. If I had them all in Tupperware containers, that would take up a lot more room. So I just leave them in here. I use my little tray, and I can put these all in my tray, and I just put all the embossing things together. So, all right, I'm just taking the brush that comes with it and brushing all those spare bits back inside there. And we'll put the top back on. And then we're going to heat this. So, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I hope so. I really, really hope so. I'm going to use my cross clamp tweezers. These come with the Embossing Editions kit as well. And I'm just going to tweezer this on so I can hold it up, and maybe we'll be able to see it a little better. It might get noisy for a minute here because I am going to go ahead and turn on my heat tool. And I'm just going to have to heat this whole piece. And you'll see as you heat it that the powder gets shiny. That's because it's all getting nice and melted. I'm going to put this down actually. I just find that it stays flatter when it's on something. I'm going to heat this whole thing. And it just takes a few minutes. Oh, my hand's in the way, so you definitely can't see anything. Let me see if I can move it a little bit. And I will hold this up when I get done. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit of what happened. All right. Moving across the whole piece. Just like that. Just trying to make sure that I got each of the bits embossed. All right. So there we go. Let me hold this up. Let's see if we can see this a little bit. You just got some things to try this? That's awesome. So can you see that? Can you see how now there are snowflakes on top of the snow that are like clear? Isn't that cool? I just think it adds like just that little bit of extra touch to it. So we had like a snowy scene already, and then I added more snowflakes on top of it. So it's just all snowy. All right, let's go ahead and turn this into a card. And I'm going to do that quick and easy. I have a piece of basic white thick. It is 4 1/4 by 11 inches, and I'm just going to fold it right in half. This is going to be my card base. And this is going to go on front like this. Oh, so pretty. All right, and then I want to grab some ribbon. I'm going to grab this, I think it's a 3/8 inch frayed ribbon. And I'm just going to cut a piece and put this towards the bottom. So I'm just going to put this across here. This is just going to kind of like anchor down my sentiment, I think. I think I know what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go. I'm just taping this on the back. And then I'll adhere this down to my piece of white, to my base. And I'm going to go ahead. It is curling just a little bit because that's kind of what happens when you do some heat embossing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I get kind of all the way to the edges and maybe use a little bit more adhesive than I normally would. A lot of times I just go around the outside edges, but I might add some more towards the center here just to make sure that we get it nice and flattened down. So, but it's perfectly normal for your card, for your paper or your cardstock or whatever to curl a little bit when you emboss it. All right, so we'll just hold that for a second, make sure it gets nice and tacked down. And then I'm going to think about stamping the sentiment, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment that says "Let it snow" because it just seems appropriate, right? All right, there we go. There's our card front, and I have a little 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and just have a scrap of white. I'm just going to punch out a circle. There we go. And I'm going to grab my balmy blue, not balmy blue. I don't think Pool Party is the right color though. Let me see. Maybe Coastal Cabana? Yeah, I think I'm going to use Coastal Cabana. We'll see how it works. And I'm going to stamp this "Let It Snow" on my little circle of white. So pretty. Yay. This is a super simple card. So let's take this. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my sentiment because, well, is it homemade if there aren't dimensionals? I don't think so. Let's see. And of course, I put those in the wrong spot. We'll just put more on. It'll all be good. It'll all be good. Peel my backs off of my dimensionals. And we're going to put this right on the front. let it snow. And just a super simple, here we go, super simple card. Now I, of course, have some bonus cards to show you. Isn't that cute? So quick and easy with just that little bit of extra little bit on there, right? We just kind of kicked it up a notch. So super easy though. All right, let me show you my other sample cards because they're cute too. I have another one with the Snowy Wonder stamp set. This one, I used the sketched plaid and I embossed the sketched plaid on this kind of snowy paper. So it just kind of adds that extra plaid on it. We added a little snowman and then let it snow. I embossed the let it snow with white. So there we go. And there's that one. So we have a couple Christmas cards. And then I couldn't resist pulling out one of my new stamp sets that I got the other day. So I grabbed the Hugs for Love stamp set. And actually, I decided, I had originally said that I was going to be using the Umbrella Days stamp set for the card class in January. But instead, we're going to be using the Hugs for Love stamp set because I was like, let's make some Valentine's Day cards in January, right? Yeah, so that's what we're doing. All right, so let's see if you can see this. This, I use that Leaf Collection set stamp on the back there. All right, and I just stamp that. So there's kind of, you got your plaid paper with a leaf on it. Now, I decided to take this up a notch, and let me show you what I did. This is using the same paper, the same stamp in the background, but what I did is I took my Petal Pink ink pad and a blending brush, and I just added ink. I blended ink in over top of the leaves. So that makes the paper where the leaves aren't, it makes it darker. You still see that plaid underneath there, but it just kind of makes those leaves pop even a little bit more. So that's kind of the two different looks for you. Like I said, I feel like this is a technique you really, really need to try in person to really see how cool it is. So, all right. Anybody want to be let in on what my Black Friday specials are going to be? I kind of just like came up with this today because I wanted to do something, right? Because it's Black Friday. We all love to shop during Black Friday. So I am going to be offering some specials starting tomorrow. I decided I'm running them the whole weekend. So it starts tomorrow, Wednesday. It runs through Sunday night, so the rest of November. And you have a couple different options. So one thing is there's going to be a code in my email tomorrow that you can use to shop my tutorial store and get 50% off. So that's really awesome. Make sure you open up that email tomorrow and grab that and shop all my tutorials 50% off. So that's a great deal. And then if you want to place a Stampin' Up! Order, get some more supplies or whatever, I have an additional deal for you. I mean, you already get great stuff. You get tutorials and frequent shopper points and stuff, but I wanted to do more because I like doing stuff, right? I just like giving stuff away. So what I'm going to do is with every $50 order, you have a choice. I have a stack. Let me see if I can pick this up. I have a stack of past paper pumpkin kits, right? That I have not opened. These are brand new. They are unopened. Let me make this. There we go. This is a giant stack. There's 8 or 9 of them here. You can choose one of those. So it's just going to be at random. I'm not going to tell you what all I have and let you choose and stuff. You place a $50 order. You can either choose to get a random past paper pumpkin kit, or you can choose to get a free roll of the real red and white Baker's Twine. So once you place at least a $50 order, sometime either after the weekend's over or sometime this weekend, I will email you and find out which of those 2 you want, or you can just go ahead and email me and I will be sending those out next week. They are limited quantities on both though, so don't delay. All right. All right. So that's what's coming up. That's my Black Friday special. And of course, that's only available through me because I'm doing it personally. It's not through Stampin' Up. So I have to let you know that. All right. Whew. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I am so glad that you were here. I hope that you try out this technique. In just a few minutes, I'm going to post some of my sample cards over on my Facebook page. I'm moving everything to my Facebook page. So I'm posting that on my Facebook page. If you made a card with this technique, I hope that you will pop over to my Facebook page and you will find that post and then leave a picture of your card in the comments so that we can all see it. That'd be awesome. Shannon, what's the time Yeah, I know you ordered 2 days ago. Unfortunately, Shannon, it starts tomorrow. It starts tomorrow and it runs through Sunday. So that is the time frame for my Black Friday sale. So yeah, I ran it kind of as long as I could. So anyway, thank you all again for joining me. I hope to see y'all next week. I will not be here Thursday night. I'm taking the day off, Thanksgiving, you know. And but I will be back next week, Tuesday, and we're going to be doing some card sketches next week, Tuesday. So next week, Tuesday is card sketch night. And I am so excited to share next week's card sketch with you. So I will see you then. I'll have a fabulous, fabulous Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon.